Congressman Jim Jordan is chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. He had a front row seat for the major changes we're seeing with the Trump DOJ under Pam Bondi. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for being with us.
You bet. Good to be with you, Dee.
Yeah. You say there have been some major changes under Pam Bondi, but have you seen any real accountability so far for the people like Merrick Garland or anyone else from the Biden DOJ who targeted people specifically?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've actually done referrals. We referred John Brennan because he came to Congress and lied to us. You're not allowed to do that when you're under oath talking to the United States Congress. 18 U.S.C. 1001. It's a violation of the statute. He did that, so we did a criminal referral for him. We did it for one of Jack Smith's top lieutenants, Mr. Wyndham, one of the three guys we've deposed as part of Mr. Smith's investigation. We did a criminal referral for him. He took the fifth like 75 times when he in his deposition. We didn't refer him for that. You're allowed to do that under our Constitution, but we referred him for other issues and things he said that were I think, obstructing our investigation. So, yeah, we're attempting to hold people accountable who did wrong and, frankly, who lied. But the difference, I think the big difference is, as you pointed out, E.D., is, you know, the Biden DOJ couldn't tell us who planted the pipe bombs, couldn't tell us who leaked the Dobbs opinion, couldn't tell us who put cocaine at the White House. But they could go after moms and dads at school board meetings and pro-life Catholics and everything else. Meanwhile, under Attorney General Bondi, they're putting bad guys in prison. That murder rate is down, armed robbery is down. Here in D.C., every crime category is down because of the good work of the Trump administration and the Bondi Justice Department.
I was shocked when I looked at the D.C. crime rates. They really have plummeted. You know, President Trump posted on Truth Social today a link to an article that says ex-FBI agent says Bondi has slam dunk conspiracy case against Obama's feds for election meddling. A slam dunk case, he says. So will we see that prosecuted?
Well, we'll see what the justice, again, all we can do is do the investigations, do our constitutional duty, which is oversight, part of our key function as members of Congress, members of the legislative branch. We can do criminal referrals. We can put out our reports and get the information hearings and get the facts to the American people. But in the end, only the Justice Department can prosecute. Now, they've set up a special strike force to deal with this, what I would call the weaponization of the previous administration. Frankly, going all the way back to Obama when they started the spying on President Trump's campaign, the whole dossier and all that. So they've set up a strike force that Attorney General Bondi announced that several months ago. They've also now established the Deputy Attorney General for fraud to get after this fraud issue. Colin McDonald has been named to that position. Sharp young lawyer who I think is going to do good work there. So they're digging into all this. But in the end, who gets charged, who gets indicted, who gets prosecuted, that's a question for the Justice Department. You
know, a lot of folks go, do they ever get anything done in D.C.? But I've been watching a lot of these hearings, and it's got to be frustrating for you as much as it is for us watching when people go, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth. And it doesn't seem like there really is legally anything that you can do for that. But especially this is the top of my mind because listening to Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, plead the fifth. Pam Bondi has received a lot of backlash because there have been no arrests for anything from the Epstein files to the Arctic Frost investigation, the billions of dollars in fraud that Tim Walz and the officials in Minnesota just simply ignored, the Russian hoax, the collusion there hoax. So are you satisfied with Pam Bondi, or does she need to be doing more? I mean, we want to see something happen.
And like I said, it's night and day dealing with the Bondi Justice Department versus the Garland Justice Department from the previous administration. And they've been very helpful in us to do our work where we've asked for documents and information. They've been willing to give all that to us, unlike what happened in the previous administration. So they got a tough job, but I think she's doing a great job. And she'll be testifying tomorrow, of course, in our hearing. And I think we will talk about what's happened with crime, how the numbers are coming down, how they're getting individuals, predators who are harming kids, how they're getting them off the streets in D.C. and around the country, and all the other good work that they're doing, not to mention their investigation into the fraud and, as I said, this whole weaponization of government that took place with the prior administration.
Yeah. One of your Republican colleagues in the House Judiciary, Thomas Massie, has been pretty critical of Pam Bondi and the DOJ, especially when it comes to the Epstein files. Listen to this and then give me your reaction.
What's your message to Pam Bondi after what you saw today?
Need to do a little more work. And I would like, I mean, we'll see her at the Judiciary Committee here in a couple days. They're already breaking the law. Look, they're way past the deadline. And the reason they gave for taking so much time is so they wouldn't release victims' information. But in fact, they've released all kinds of victims' information. So the problem here is not the deadline. The problem is they need to go back. They need to themselves check their own homework or have somebody else check it.
You sense the level of frustration. I also heard another representative say that some of the names of people who were with these young girls really shouldn't be redacted, that there's no reason to do that, and that there should be more people being investigated for their involvement. What do you think about his statement?
Well, I leave it up to the Justice Department to comply with the law and, of course, also adhere to what the courts have said when it comes to protecting people's identity and redacting people who should appropriately be redacted. But when their pressure is coming from certain members of Congress to do this yesterday, I think that's a real issue. But what I know is Pam Bondi and her team are doing the best job they can. This will be an issue that will come up tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be questions about it. We do know that there have been innocent people whose information has gotten out there that it wasn't supposed to be. That is wrong. But I think it's, again, when you're talking about the volume that they have to deal with and this whole situation, but there'll be plenty of questions about that tomorrow, I assume, from largely the Democrats, but probably Mr. Massey as well. All
right. I do not envy your job at all. It is a busy, difficult one. Mr. Chairman, Jim Jordan, thank you very much for being with us.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.